Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really interesting journey. We're diving into some ancient wisdom,
hmm
specifically this fascinating way of organizing deep insights into, well, sets of four.
Yeah, it's like a framework.
Exactly. Think of it as maybe unlocking an ancient operating manual for, a really flourishing life.
That's a good way to put it. Our source material for this deep dive, it's from excerpts of an ancient text, basically a collection of discourses.
Okay.
And they provide this really structured guidance. It's not just spiritual stuff in the abstract, though.
Right.
These teachings offer practical, kind of timeless perspectives on, ethical conduct, how to manage your own mind, understanding reality itself.
So still relevant then.
Oh, absolutely. Remarkably relevant for navigating modern life, I'd say.
And our mission here, as always, is to pull out the most important bits, those key nuggets of knowledge from these teachings.
Giving you a shortcut.
Yeah, a shortcut to getting informed about the core ideas. We found some surprising facts and hopefully some really practical takeaways you can actually use. So this power of four, what's the unique thing here? Let's unpack this. Okay, so let's start right at the foundation. What does it really mean to thrive? Many of us feel kind of caught, right, in cycles of struggle or maybe just confusion.
That feeling of being stuck.
Exactly. And these ancient sources, like one called the Paññā, they offer a pretty radical reason for this persistent wandering and suffering.
Okay, what is it?
It points to our lack of, let's say, full comprehension of four absolutely crucial pillars.
A core four.
Right. Noble conduct, noble concentration, noble wisdom, and noble liberation.
Arya, sīla, samādhi, paññā, vimutti.
Precisely. And the text suggests that truly understanding these and, living them.
Embodying them.
Yeah, that's what cuts off the craving for existence itself.
Yeah.
It ends that cycle of rebirth, basically. It's like finally getting the user manual for life's complicated operating system.
And what's fascinating here is how consistently these four pop up.
Mm-hmm.
They're presented as foundational, almost like non-negotiable prerequisites for any real progress.
So you can't skip them.
Seems not.
Yeah.
The teaching warns about falling away from the path, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it explains that it's the absence of these pillars that leads to spiritual decline or falling away.
Ah, okay.
So having a strong grasp on conduct, concentration, wisdom, liberation, it isn't just about improving. It's actually about avoiding going backwards, building a kind of resilient inner life.
That makes a lot of sense. So, okay, those pillars are the what. But how does this actually play out day to day, especially, when we're dealing with other people?
Right, the practical side.
That's where the wisdom from other texts, ones on right conduct, gets really useful. Think about this. A foolish person, the texts say, harms themselves, and they earn blame. How? By praising people who should be criticized or blaming people who deserve praise. And here's the kicker. They do it without investigation.
Jumping to conclusions.
Exactly. Or showing pleasure when maybe they should be displeased. Or the other way around, again, without investigation.
And that just raises a huge question for all of us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How often do we really investigate before we judge?
Yeah.
The texts contrast this so sharply with the wise person. They do the opposite. They assess things with investigation,
Which leads to your...
blamelessness, merit.
Mm.
It's really a powerful call for mindfulness in how we interact.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea goes further. It highlights really serious consequences for harming people considered noble ones like your parents or, deeply spiritual people.
So watch your words and actions.
Absolutely. It emphasizes the deep impact, maybe karmic impact, of what we say and do, underscores that need for discernment and respect.
Definitely. And this idea of genuine, inner virtue, it really comes through when they talk about the holy life, brahmacharya. The teachings clarify its real purpose. It's for restraint, for letting go of inner junk, the defilements.
Abandoning them.
Right. Cultivating dispassion, and ultimately the end of suffering. And crucially, it says it's not for becoming popular or famous or winning debates.
Puts the focus squarely on inner work.
Yeah, deep inner transformation, not just looking good on the outside.
And that clarity is so important. It ties directly into another distinction the texts make between different types of practitioners.
Okay.
Those who are, say, deceitful, arrogant, maybe too talkative, boastful, not really composed. They're said to struggle. They don't really grow in the Dhamma.
Right.
But in contrast, those who are non-deceitful, who are wise, humble, well-composed, they're the ones who genuinely thrive.
Authenticity matters.
It's a reminder, yeah. Authenticity and real inner qualities are way more important than any kind of superficial show.
And this virtue thing is reinforced elsewhere too, right? With renunciates.
Absolutely.
Right.
Texts like the Santuha Sutta and Aryavasa Sutta highlight these four simple and blameless provisions for monks or nuns.
Like,
Robes made from rags, food received as alms, living simply, maybe at the root of a tree, and even using fermented urine as medicine basic stuff.
wow, really basic.
Yeah, and the point is contentment with these simple things, alongside delighting in spiritual development, bhavana, and letting go, pahana. That's part of the ancient noble tradition.
So simplicity and inner work go together.
Exactly. A practitioner who embodies this, the text says, becomes skilled, diligent, mindful. They don't boast or put others down. They become resilient against discontent.
Okay, so from conduct, let's shift into the mind itself, mastering the mind.
The inner world.
Yeah, imagine you're trying to, I don't know, meditate or just focus, but these unhelpful thoughts keep popping up, dwelling on desires, feeling angry or resentful, thinking harmful things.
Happens to everyone.
Right. And these ancient texts, like Karana Sutta and Sila Sutta, explain that just letting these thoughts run wild makes us feel lazy, lacking effort. Doesn't matter if you're walking, standing, sitting.
It drains your energy.
Yeah. But here's where it gets really interesting, really transformative. The proactive approach.
Okay.
It involves actively, diligently dispelling these unwholesome thoughts, getting rid of them, along with what are called the 5 hindrances.
Ah, yes, the 5 hindrances. They're like mental quicksand, really.
Good analogy.
Things like getting stuck in desire or feeling ill will, grumpiness,
Sluggishness.
sloth and torpor, that sluggish feeling, restlessness, agitation, worry, and finally, doubt or uncertainty.
They really do block clarity.
They totally sap your energy and prevent clear thinking. And this proactive effort you mentioned, that's precisely what the 4 right efforts, Samādhi, are all about.
Okay, what are they?
They guide us to, first, prevent the bad stuff, the unwholesome states, from even starting.
Before they arise.
Exactly. Second, abandon the bad stuff that has already arisen. Get rid of it.
Okay.
Third, develop the good stuff,
Oh.
the wholesome states that aren't there yet. Cultivate them.
Build the positive.
And fourth, maintain and perfect the good stuff that's already present. Keep it going. Make it stronger.
That's really comprehensive.
That's a very actionable framework for mental work. Shifts you from just passively struggling to actively taking charge.
That's incredibly practical. It really gives you a kind of roadmap for handling your own inner world, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And building on that, the teachings also talk about 4 developments of concentration, samadhi bhavana, different ways or maybe purposes for meditation.
Exactly. Different flavors or goals for developing concentration. One aims for just well-being, happiness in this life.
Yeah.
Often through achieving deep meditative states, the jhanas.
Okay, like finding peace now.
Yeah. Another focuses on cultivating a kind of inner light perception. This is said to lead to profound knowledge and vision, insight.
Interesting.
Then there's a development focus on sharp mindfulness and clear comprehension. Just being really aware of feelings, perceptions, thoughts, watching them arise and cease without getting caught up.
Just observe.
Just observing clearly. And finally, there's a development specifically geared towards the ultimate goal, eradicating the defilements completely.
Oh.
By contemplating the impermanent, unsatisfactory, and selfless nature of all our experiences, the 5 aggregates. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these practices aren't just for monks in caves. They offer a clear roadmap for anyone, really, seeking clarity, seeking some control over their inner world.
It's about consciously shaping your mind.
Exactly. But what if our basic perceptions are off? What if we're seeing things wrong from the start?
Ah, yeah.
That's where the idea of the 4 distortions or vipallasas comes in. The texts explain how we tend to mess things up in perception, thought, and view.
How so?
We perceive permanence in things that are actually impermanent.
Like thinking things will last forever when they won't.
Right. We perceive pleasure or happiness in things that are inherently stressful or suffering. Okay. We perceive a solid, lasting self, where there's really just processes, non-self, anatta.
The ego trap.
Kind of. And we perceive beauty in things that are, upon closer examination, unbeautiful or repulsive.
And these distortions, the sources say they actually bind us to suffering.
That's the idea. It's like, as you said, wearing glasses that fundamentally warp reality. You can't navigate properly.
So seeing things correctly is the key.
Seeing things as they really are, impermanent, unsatisfactory, non-self, and often unbeautiful. That's what leads towards liberation. It's a call to really examine our deepest assumptions about life, about ourselves. There's a great analogy used in the Upakilesa Sutta. It compares the sun and moon being obscured.
Okay.
Sometimes they're hidden by clouds or mist or smoke and dust. You can't see their brilliance.
Right.
This is applied to spiritual practitioners. Things like consuming intoxicants, sexual misconduct, maybe chasing after money and possessions inappropriately, or living by wrong means.
Like unethical work.
Exactly. These are called the defilements, the upakilesas, and they obscure the practitioner's inner light, preventing them from shining with wisdom and virtue.
So keeping your life clean helps keep your mind clear.
That's the connection being made, yes.
This brings us nicely to, well, understanding true wisdom and what really defines someone who is, enlightened, or even just a true elder, a thera.
Right. What does that term really mean?
Our sources challenge the common idea that it's just about age. Getting old doesn't automatically make you wise, apparently.
So it's not just gray hair.
Nope. Instead, it points to 4 specific qualities that define a true elder. First, perfect moral conduct. Second, extensive learning, really knowing the teachings, the Dhamma, inside out.
Deep understanding.
Third, actually attaining those deep meditative states, the jhanas.
Inner stability.
And fourth, the big one, the complete eradication of the inner defilements, the asavas.
Wow. That's a high bar.
It absolutely is. It's about profound inner mastery, not just years on the clock.
And that concept, that inner mastery, leads us straight to the unique qualities the texts attribute to the Buddha himself. They outline what are called the 4 kinds of self-confidence, or Visarajas. These allowed him to state his supreme realization without any fear of being contradicted.
What were they? What gave him that confidence?
Well, first, confidence in his own perfect enlightenment. He knew he was fully awake.
Okay.
Second, confidence that all his inner defilements were completely, utterly destroyed, gone.
Total purification.
Third, confidence that the things he identified as potential obstacles or hindrances to the path he taught, well, that they actually were obstacles for those who engaged in them.
So his warnings were accurate.
And fourth, confidence that the path he taught, the Dhamma itself, genuinely did lead to the cessation of suffering for anyone who practiced it properly.
His teaching worked.
Exactly. It really raises that question again. What gives someone such unwavering confidence? It seems to be born from direct, unshakable personal insight, not just belief or dogma.
It's amazing, that level of certainty coming from direct experience and this kind of profound understanding, maybe detachment too. It's beautifully shown in a famous story, right? From the Doloka Sutta.
Ah, yes, with the Brahman duo.
Right, this Brahmin dude, he sees these extraordinary footprints on the ground, really unusual, and he follows them and finds the Buddha sitting under a tree. And dude is stunned and asks him, "Are you a god? A deva?" Buddha says, "No." "Are you a celestial musician? A ganhaba?" "No." "A demon? A yaka?" "No." "Are you your human?"
And the answer?
Buddha says no. He's not even human in the conventional sense anymore. Why? Because he has eradicated all the defilements, the taints, that would cause him to be reborn as any of those beings, God, human, whatever.
It transcended those categories.
Exactly. And then he gives that incredible analogy of the lotus flower.
Born in the water.
Born in the water, grows up in the water, but rises above it, stands there untainted by the water.
Beautiful.
And he tells Duda, "Remember me, Brahman, as awakened. Buddhotima Brahman tarahiti."
It's such a powerful image for his state of being, isn't it? Fully present in the world, but completely untouched, unburdened by his usual attachments and stains.
Yeah.
And this idea, this transcending of worldly stuff, it's also captured in what are called the 4 Dhamma footprints, or Dhammapadas.
Okay, what are those?
Non-covetousness, basically freedom from greed, anabhija. Non-ill will, freedom from hatred, avapada.
Good basic virtues.
Right. Mindfulness, samasati, and right concentration, samasamadhi.
Ah, elements of the Eightfold Path.
Exactly. And these 4 are described as ancient, uncorrupted principles.
Yeah.
So foundational, the texts say, that even people who disagreed with the Buddha on other things didn't dare to criticize these 4.
Why not?
Out of fear of being blamed by the wise. It just shows how universally accepted and timeless these core principles were seen to be. And speaking of the Buddha's unique understanding, the texts also describe his grasp of the world, loka.
What does that mean, the world?
It's everything we experience, everything seen, heard, sensed, cognized through the mind. The Buddha is said to have fully understood the world, how it originates, how it ceases, and the path leading to its cessation.
All within experience.
Yes. And crucially, he is disengaged from it, untainted by it. He knows it all, experiences it all, but without clinging. What he says about it is simply how it is. Yathavadi tathakari. As he speaks, so he does. Always true.
That level of clarity is hard to fathom. And there are other ways his supremacy is described, right?
Yes, the Aggapannyata Sutta gives 4 supreme declarations. It lists the top beings in different categories.
Right.
Rahu is declared supreme among the asuras, these titans.
Yeah.
King Matata, supreme among those who enjoy sensual pleasures. Mara, the tempter figure, supreme among those with dominion or power.
Okay.
But the Buddha, he is declared supreme among all beings, including gods and humans. The highest.
Unequaled.
Unequaled. And this wisdom wasn't just about pronouncements. It extended to how he interacted, how he taught. There's a fascinating text on the 4 ways of answering questions.
Oh, how did he answer questions?
It depends. Sometimes a direct categorical answer, yes, no, this, that. Sometimes an analytical answer, breaking it down. Sometimes he'd answer with a counter question to make the questioner think.
Turn it back on them.
Right. And sometimes the wisest response was just to set the question aside, maybe because it was ill-posed or irrelevant to the path.
Knowing how to answer is wisdom, too.
Exactly. It shows incredible discernment.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. How do these ancient ideas apply to, well, us living together? Ethical conduct in society, creating harmony.
The social dimension.
One text, the Catukkanipāta, talks about 4 wheels, like wheels of a chariot that lead to prosperity. For gods and humans, it says.
Okay, what are these wheels?
First, living in a suitable place. Patirapita sabaso. Your environment matters.
Makes sense.
Second, having good company, associating with good people. Sapori supasayo.
Surroundings and friends.
Third, right self-direction. Atasamapachiti. Having your own goals and intentions aligned correctly.
Inner compass.
And fourth, having done good deeds in the past, Catukkanipāta, past actions, setting the stage.
Wow, that's a really holistic view of what leads to well-being, both external conditions and internal virtue, plus past karma.
Absolutely. And expanding on that, on social harmony, you have the 4 bases of social integration, the Saga Fathas. These are presented as crucial for holding society together. What are they? First, giving, generosity.
Yeah.
Sharing resources.
Okay.
Second, pleasant speech. Peyavaja. Speaking kindly, constructively.
Words matter.
Third, beneficial conduct. Athakarya. Acting in ways that help others.
Service.
And fourth, impartiality. Treating everyone fairly. Samanatata. Equality.
Giving, kind words, helping, fairness. Seems straightforward.
It does, but the text compare these 4 to the linchpin of a chariot. You know, the pin that holds the wheel on?
Yeah, crucial.
Without it, the whole thing falls apart. So these aren't just like nice suggestions. They're presented as the absolute bedrock of a healthy, connected community. That's a really powerful image, the linchpin. And speaking of things falling apart, the texts are also very clear about the dangers of bias, aren't they?
Oh, yes. Several texts like Aṅguttara Sutta talk about this. Acting out of desire or greed.
Wanting something for yourself or your favorites.
Right. Or acting out of hatred or aversion.
Prejudice against others.
Or acting out of delusion or confusion.
Not seeing things clearly.
Or acting out of fear. These are called the 4 wrong paths, or aggagata. And taking them leads inevitably to decline, loss of reputation, negative consequences.
Any examples?
Yeah, there's a vivid one about a food distributor in charge of giving out provisions. If he acts with partiality, giving more to those he likes, less to those he dislikes, he's condemned. It shows how even seemingly small acts of bias have big impacts. And the flip side is also true. Not acting from these biases, desire, hatred, delusion, fear, leads to an increase in reputation, positive outcomes, even heavenly rebirth, the texts say.
So what's the takeaway here?
Well, it's a really potent lesson in objective leadership, fair decision-making. It reinforces that integrity, impartiality.
Yeah.
They're key not just for your own good, but for the health of the whole group, the whole community.
Right. And this ties into priorities too, doesn't it? What you value most.
Exactly. Other texts discuss the importance of prioritizing the Dhamma, the truth, the teachings, wisdom over personal gain or negative emotions.
Like getting angry.
Yeah. Prioritizing anger or holding grudges or chasing status or profit over understanding the Dhamma, that's called unwholesome. It hinders your growth. It's like planting foul seeds in fertile ground. Nothing good comes of it.
But prioritizing Dhamma.
That leads to spiritual growth. It's like a plant getting the water it needs. It flourishes.
It's really clear. Our intentions, our priorities, they genuinely shape our reality. And one last point on ethics, sacrifices. How did these teachings view traditional sacrifices?
Very important point. The texts are quite clear. The Buddha does not praise sacrifices that involve killing animals.
Why not?
They're characterized as greatly troublesome, involving violence and suffering, not good karma.
So what is praised?
He praises offerings that are blameless, maybe perpetual offerings given to the needy or the virtuous, things that involve no harm, no killing. He says that truly worthy, enlightened beings attend these kinds of events, and they lead to great benefit for everyone involved, pleasing the positive forces, you might say.
So a strong stance against violence, promoting compassion instead.
Absolutely. Compassion as a core ethical value comes through very strongly.
Okay, from ethics in the world, let's go to the ultimate goal. Freedom. Freedom from suffering, Nibbana.
The end game.
The teachings, like in the Taichisutta, get right to the root cause. They identify 4 origins of craving that keep us trapped, keep us wandering endlessly in this cycle of existence.
What are they? What kind of craving?
Interestingly, it lists craving for robes,
Material things, even simple ones.
craving for alms food,
Sustenance.
craving for dwellings,
Shelter, place.
and the really big one, craving for existence or non-existence, iripavahaitu. That fundamental urge to be something, or sometimes the urge to not be, to annihilate.
That deep existential clinging.
Yeah, and the teaching is blunt. Understanding this craving, seeing its roots, and completely eradicating it, that is the path to liberation.
It really highlights how even desires that seem basic or necessary can become chains if we cling to them wrongly. This connects to another set of the 4 yokes, yoga, that bind beings to the cycle.
Yokes like on oxen.
Exactly like that. They bind us. They are.
Yeah.
The yoke of sensuality, craving pleasant sights, sounds, etc. The yoke of existence, that same craving to be. The yoke of views, clinging to opinions and beliefs. And the yoke of ignorance, not understanding the true nature of reality.
So sensuality, existence, views, ignorance, those are the ties.
Those are the yokes. And the texts say that as long as you don't truly understand the origin of these yokes, how they disappear, what's satisfying about them temporarily, what the danger is, and what the escape is, you remain bound.
You need to understand them fully.
Understanding those 5 aspects for each yoke, that's what constitutes the disyokes, the unbinding. That understanding leads to liberation from all the unwholesome states, from the whole cycle of birth and death.
Wow, that deep understanding. It leads to something truly mind-bending in another story, doesn't it? The one with the swift deity, Rohitasa.
Ah, yes, Rohitasa.
I thought a fantastic illustration.
So Rohitasa, this being who could apparently travel incredibly fast, like faster than an arrow across the cosmos.
Unimaginable speed.
He asks the Buddha a question. Can the end of the world be reached by traveling? And by end of the world, he means a place where there's no birth, no aging, no death, no passing away, no rebirth. Can you get there by going somewhere?
A physical journey to liberation.
Right. And the Buddha's answer is just startling. He says, no, absolutely not. You cannot reach the end of the world by traveling no matter how fast you go.
So it's not out there. It's not out there. But T, and this is the absolute core insight the Buddha declares, that the end of suffering, the end of the world, is to be found, proclaimed, realized within this very fathom-long body right here, right now.
In our own experience.
Yes. Along with the world itself, its origin, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. It's all right here. And Rohitasa himself admits, yeah, I tried traveling really fast for ages, and I died before I reached any end.
It's a powerful redirection. Liberation isn't an external place you travel to. It's an internal state you realize within. It really is. A profound reminder that the journey is inward. And carrying that theme forward, another text, Suvidura Suttai, lists 4 things that are described as very, very far apart.
Okay, what are they? Like physical distances?
Some are. First, heaven and earth, pretty far.
Sure.
Second, the near shore and the far shore of the great ocean, also very far.
Okay.
Third, the place where the sun rises and the place where it sets. Again, vast distance.
Right. But what's the 4th? The 4th, and the text says this is furthest apart of all, is the Dhamma of the virtuous, Saparisa, and the Dhamma of the unvirtuous, Asaparisa.
The way good people live and think versus the way bad people live and think. That's the furthest distance.
That's what it says. It emphasizes that associating with the unvirtuous, their way dissolves quickly. It's unstable. But the company of the virtuous, their way endures.
So the distance is qualitative, not physical.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it highlights the immense impact of our associations, our choices on our path. The gap between a wholesome state of being and an unwholesome one is presented as the greatest distance there is.
That's a really thought-provoking way to put it. And finally, bringing it back to the practitioner's path, There are these 4 qualities for non-decline, Apparhanya Sutta, specifically for a bhikkhu, a monk, but maybe applicable more broadly.
I think the principles certainly are. These 4 things are said to lead directly towards nibbana, preventing any falling back.
Sorry.
First, again, perfect moral conduct, sīla,
Yeah.
found it. Second, guarded sense doors. Being mindful with the eyes, ears, nose, etc., preventing unwholesome thoughts from rushing in based on what you perceive.
Mindfulness of senses.
Third, moderation in food. Eating consciously, for sustenance, not just for pleasure or indulgence.
Simple living again.
And fourth, devotion to wakefulness, maintaining awareness, alertness, day and night. Practicing mindfulness even when going to sleep and waking up, not being mentally sluggish.
Constant vigilance in a way.
A kind of gentle, consistent vigilance, yes. These 4 together create the conditions for insight to arise and lead to nibbana. And just briefly, there's a description of the ideal outcome, the secluded monk, Palena Sutta. Someone who is beyond clinging to specific views about self or world.
Beyond individual truths.
Right. Someone who has abandoned all craving for sensuality, for existence, even craving related to the holy life itself.
Let go of everything.
Whose bodily actions and energies are completely tranquil, maybe through mastering the 4th jhana. And crucially, someone who has totally eradicated the conceit, I am. That deep-seated sense of a separate self is gone.
That's the end point.
That's presented as the state of full liberation.
Huh.
Hashtag outro.
Wow. Okay, so what does all this mean for you listening right now? We've gone from the foundations like conduct and concentration
The turtle board.
to mastering the mind with effort and right perception, understanding the nature of true wisdom, ethical action in the world,
Social harmony.
and finally, the path to ultimate freedom from suffering itself. It seems these 4s, they really offer a surprisingly comprehensive guide, don't they?
They really do.
A map for understanding yourself, navigating the world, and making progress towards liberation. Not just dusty ancient ideas, but potentially very relevant today.
Indeed. It's a remarkably structured approach to, well, self-improvement doesn't quite capture it, profound insight and transformation.
Yeah.
And maybe this raises an important question for you to consider. If these timeless principles offer such clarity, what 4 aspects of your own life, maybe 4 habits or 4 relationships, perhaps 4 aspects of your mindset, or 4 goals, what 4 areas might benefit most from this kind of deep, structured reflection and understanding?
That's a great question to sit with, something to mull over as you go about your day. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the power of 4.
Yes, thank you for listening. We hope it sparks some insights, and we encourage you to continue your own journey of discovery.